My sister posted her new BMW on Instagram with the caption "Manifested this beauty." She forgot to mention she manifested it by forging my signature on a $90,000 loan. I commented congrats, then called the bank and had it repossessed from her office parking lot. I'm Daniel, 34 years old, and I discovered my sister's idea of manifestation the same way 500 of her Instagram followers did. By scrolling through my feed on a Tuesday afternoon. There she was, my younger sister Kelsey, 29 years old, posing next to a cherry red Tesla Model Y, hand on the hood, designer sunglasses, that influencer smile she'd been practicing. The caption read, "Finally manifested my dream car. When you align your energy with abundance, the universe delivers. Grateful, blessed, manifestation works." The comments were exactly what you'd expect. Hundreds of fire emojis. "So proud of you, girl. You deserve this, queen. Teach me your ways." I liked the post. Commented, "Nice ride, Kels. Happy for you." And I genuinely was happy for her. Kelsey had been working as a social media manager for a boutique marketing firm, making okay money, nothing spectacular. I figured maybe she'd saved up, got a great lease deal, or maybe our aunt had helped her out. Our Aunt Patricia had money and a soft spot for Kelsey. 4 days later, I got a text notification from my credit monitoring app. "Your credit score has dropped 43 points due to new hard inquiry and increased debt-to-income ratio." I stared at my phone. I hadn't applied for any credit. Hadn't bought anything major. I logged into my credit report and there it was, brand new auto loan from Tesla Financial Services, $87,400 financed over 72 months. My name. My social security number. My supposed signature on all the documents. But here's the thing that made my blood turn to ice. I never bought a Tesla. Never even test drove one. Never stepped foot in a Tesla dealership. Yet according to this credit report, I was now the proud owner of an $87,000 car loan with monthly payments of $1,340 starting in 2 weeks. I called Tesla Financial immediately. Waited on hold for what felt like an eternity listening to their hold music. Finally got a representative named Marcus who pulled up my account. "Yes, Mr. Chen, I see your loan here, finalized last Friday. Vehicle was delivered to the co-applicant Ms. Kelsey Chen at her residence. Is there a problem with the vehicle?" I kept my voice steady even though I wanted to scream. "I never applied for this loan, Marcus. I never co-signed anything. I've never even been to your dealership." Long pause on the other end. "Sir, are you saying this is fraudulent?" "Yes, Marcus, that's exactly what I'm saying. My sister apparently used my information without my knowledge or consent." What happened next was a cascade of transfers, hold music, and increasingly serious voices. I ended up with someone named Patricia in their fraud department. "Mr. Chen, I'm looking at the application documents now. There's a digital signature here with your name, employment verification, bank statements, tax returns, the full package for approval. You're saying you didn't provide any of this?" "None of it. This is identity theft." Patricia's voice shifted from professional to very carefully measured. "I'm going to need you to file a police report, Mr. Chen. We take fraud extremely seriously. Once you have that report number, you'll need to fax it to our fraud department and we'll begin our investigation. In the meantime, the loan stands as is unless we can prove it was obtained fraudulently." I sat there after the call ended trying to understand how this happened. How did Kelsey get all my personal information? Then I remembered. 3 months ago she'd asked to borrow my scanner. Said she was digitizing old family photos for a surprise gift for our dad's birthday. I'd let her use my home office for an entire afternoon. My filing cabinet was in that office. My unlocked filing cabinet with folders clearly labeled tax returns, bank statements, insurance documents, everything someone would need to steal an identity. She hadn't been scanning family photos. She'd been scanning my entire financial life. I texted her. "We need to talk about your new car." She responded almost immediately with 3 heart emojis and "OMG, isn't she beautiful? I'm obsessed. We should go for a drive this weekend. I want to show you all the features." Me, Kelsey, did you use my information to get that Tesla? The 3 dots appeared and disappeared 5 times. Then nothing. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. Sent another text. I know what you did, I got an alert about the loan, we need to talk now. An hour later my phone rang. Kelsey's voice was defensive before I even said hello. Okay, so I can explain, but you have to promise not to freak out. I'm already freaking out, Kelsey. You took out an $87,000 loan in my name without asking me. She actually tried to justify it. I knew you'd say no if I asked, but Danny, I needed this. My car died completely and I couldn't get approved because of my credit score from that medical bill situation, but you have amazing credit and I'm making all the payments anyway, so technically you won't have to pay anything. I'm being responsible about it. You forged my signature, Kelsey, you stole my identity, that's not responsible, that's a felony. She got quiet. Then her voice changed to that little sister tone she used when she wanted something. Come on Danny, don't be dramatic, it's not like I'm some stranger stealing from you, I'm your sister, family helps family, and I manifested this car through intentional energy work and aligned action. The universe provided the opportunity. The universe provided the opportunity by you committing fraud. You're making this such a bigger deal than it needs to be. Here's what absolutely floored me. She genuinely didn't think she'd done anything wrong. In her mind, she'd just found a creative solution to a problem. She'd borrowed my credit the way you'd borrow a cup of sugar. The fact that it was illegal, that it put my financial future at risk, that it was a complete betrayal of trust, none of that registered. She'd manifested her dream car. That's all that mattered. But wait, because this is where my logistics brain kicked in. I work in data analysis. I solve problems by looking at numbers and outcomes. And the numbers here were catastrophic. If Kelsey missed even one payment, it would destroy my credit score. If she defaulted, I'd be liable for the remaining $87,000. If she got in an accident and the insurance found out the loan was fraudulent, I could be implicated. This wasn't just about the money. This was about my entire financial life being hijacked by someone who thought manifestation meant committing crimes. I told her I was filing a police report. She started crying. Danny, please don't do this to me, you'll ruin my life, I'll go to jail, I'll lose my job, please I'm begging you, we can work this out just between us, I'll pay you back, I promise. You should have thought about that before you stole my identity, Kelsey. I'm not doing this to you, you did this to yourself. She hung up on me. 10 minutes later my phone exploded with texts from family members. My Aunt Patricia, Daniel, what is going on? Kelsey just called me sobbing saying you're trying to have her arrested, what happened? My cousin Monica, heard you're being really harsh with Kelsey over some car thing, she made a mistake, can't you just forgive her? My dad, son, we need to talk about this situation with your sister, let's handle this as a family. Even Kelsey's best friend Taylor, who I barely knew, you're really going to press charges against your own sister, do you know how messed up that is? The narrative Kelsey had spun was incredible. She was the victim. I was the cruel older brother making a mountain out of a molehill. She'd made one tiny mistake and I was overreacting because I was controlling and didn't understand manifestation culture. The fact that she'd committed actual crimes didn't factor into anyone's version of events. I filed the police report the next morning at 8 a.m. The officer taking my statement was a woman named Detective Rivera who'd clearly seen this before. Let me guess, she said as I laid out the details, younger family member, got access to your documents somehow, thought they could handle the payments and you'd never find out. Exactly. She nodded. We see this probably twice a month now, people think because they are related it's somehow not identity theft, it absolutely is. The fact that she posted it on social media actually helps your case, shows consciousness of guilt and helps establish timeline. I gave Detective Rivera everything. Screenshots of Kelsey's Instagram post with timestamps. My credit report showing the unauthorized inquiry. The loan documents from Tesla Financial with the forged signature. Bank statements proving I never made any down payment or payment arrangements. The text messages where she admitted using my information. Detective Rivera looked through it all and said, this is pretty airtight, Mr. Chen. I'll be contacting your sister within 48 hours for an interview. You should also reach out to Tesla's fraud department with this case number, they'll want to begin their own investigation. Now here's where the story takes a turn that I absolutely did not see coming. That evening I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment I answered. The voice on the other end was male, unfamiliar, aggressive. Is this Daniel Chen? Yes, who's this? This is Marcus, Kelsey's boyfriend, and I need you to know what kind of person you are right now. Oh, I'm aware of what kind of person I am, Marcus. I'm the kind who doesn't appreciate identity theft. You're tearing this family apart over money, you know that. Kelsey is devastated. She's been crying for 6 hours, she can't eat, she can't sleep, all because you can't forgive one mistake. I felt something snap inside me. One mistake, Marcus. She scanned my personal documents without permission, forged my signature on loan documents, lied to a financial institution, put me on the hook for $87,000, and posted about it on social media like it was an accomplishment. That's not one mistake, that's premeditated fraud. She was going to make the payments. She can't afford $1,340 a month, Marcus. She makes $3,200 a month before taxes. Where exactly did she think that money was coming from? Silence on his end. Then, we were going to figure it out together. I was going to help her, we had a plan. And there it was. Kelsey hadn't done this alone. Marcus had been part of the scheme. Probably encouraged it. Maybe even helped her forge the documents. Did you help her forge my signature, Marcus? He hung up immediately. I called Detective Rivera back and told her about Marcus. She said, thank you for that, Mr. Chen, we'll definitely want to talk to him too. The next day I got an email from Tesla Financial's fraud department. Mr. Chen, we've reviewed your police report and our own investigation confirms the signatures on file don't match our verification protocols. We're classifying this as fraudulent procurement and will be initiating repossession proceedings. You will not be held liable for any portion of this loan. However, we will be pursuing full legal action against Ms. Kelsey Chen and any co-conspirators for the fraud. Timeline for repossession is typically 72 hours once we locate the vehicle. I forwarded Kelsey's Instagram posts with location tags to Tesla's fraud investigator. She'd been very helpful in that regard. Posted the Tesla at her apartment complex, at her office, at trendy brunch spots, even at Marcus's place. Every post was a breadcrumb leading directly to her. The repossession happened on a Thursday morning at 9:47 a.m. I know the exact time because Kelsey called me screaming. They took my car, Danny. They came to my office while I was in a meeting and they took my car. Everyone saw, my boss saw, clients saw. Do you know how humiliating this is? Are you happy now? Is this what you wanted? What I wanted was for you not to commit fraud, Kelsey. This is your fault, Danny. This is all your fault. You're destroying my life. No, Kelsey, you destroyed your own life the moment you decided stealing my identity was manifestation. She was still yelling when I hung up. My phone immediately started buzzing with messages from her friends. Ashley, you're a terrible person. Madison, Kelsey is having a mental breakdown because of you. Taylor, I hope you're proud of yourself. She lost her car in front of her entire office. I blocked all of them. Their opinions meant nothing. They didn't understand or didn't care that Kelsey had committed a crime. They only cared that their friend was facing consequences. But the consequences were just beginning. Detective Rivera called me the following week. Mr. Chen, your sister has been charged with identity theft, forgery, and fraud. Given the amount involved and the premeditated nature, we're looking at felony charges. She's being arraigned next Tuesday. What does that mean for her? If convicted, she's looking at potential jail time, though as a first offender she'll likely get probation, mandatory restitution, fines, and community service. Her lawyers already reached out about a plea deal. The plea deal came through 3 weeks later. Kelsey would plead guilty to reduced charges, get 2 years probation, 200 hours community service, $10,000 in fines and restitution paid to me over 24 months, and mandatory financial counseling. No jail time if she complied with all terms. Her lawyer called me to explain that Kelsey wanted to apologize and make amends. I told him to put it in the restitution check. The fallout in our family was nuclear. My dad stopped speaking to me for 2 months. Said I should have handled it privately, that pressing charges against family was unforgivable. My Aunt Patricia took Kelsey's side initially, saying I was being vindictive and cruel. It wasn't until I showed her all the evidence, every document, every forged signature, every lie, that she finally understood. Even then she said I could have just made Kelsey return the car without involving police. I explained that Tesla wouldn't have taken the car back without a fraud claim. That I would still be legally liable for the loan. That Kelsey needed to face real consequences or she'd do this again to someone else. Kelsey's Instagram went private after the repossession. But her friends kept posting on her behalf. Vague messages about toxic family members and people who don't understand forgiveness and sending love to those going through legal struggles. Marcus posted a long rant about how the justice system persecutes people for trying to better themselves, conveniently leaving out the whole identity theft part. I didn't respond to any of it. Didn't engage. Just let them spin their narrative while I dealt with reality. The reality was that my credit took a hit. Even though the fraud was documented and the loan removed, the inquiry stayed on my report for months. My credit score dropped and slowly recovered. I had to put fraud alerts on all my accounts. Had to get a lockable filing cabinet. Had to completely reorganize my security protocols because my own sister had violated them. But here's what nobody talks about in these situations. The emotional cost. I didn't just lose a car loan I never wanted. I lost my sister. Or rather, I lost the illusion of who I thought my sister was. The Kelsey I knew growing up wouldn't have done this. But maybe that Kelsey never existed. Maybe she was always someone who thought rules didn't apply to her, who thought manifesting meant taking shortcuts, who thought family meant unlimited chances to betray trust. 6 months after everything, I ran into her at a coffee shop. It was awkward and painful. She was with Marcus. They were in line ahead of me. She saw me, her face went pale, grabbed Marcus's arm and tried to leave. But the line was too crowded. We made eye contact. She looked older. Tired. Like the weight of consequences had finally registered. I didn't say anything. Just nodded. She nodded back. Then they left without ordering. I got a text from her that night. First contact since the charges. I finished my community service, paid off half the restitution. My counselor says I need to make direct amends. I'm sorry, Danny, I was wrong, I hope we can talk someday. I read it 5 times. Thought about all the responses I could give. All the things I wanted to say about betrayal and trust and family. Finally just typed, I accept your apology, I hope you learned from this, take care. She replied, that's it, really. I didn't respond. My dad eventually came around. Took him almost a year, but he finally admitted I'd done the right thing. Said he was sorry for not supporting me initially. My Aunt Patricia apologized too. Said she'd been too quick to defend Kelsey without understanding the full situation. But the relationship with Kelsey, that's still broken. Maybe permanently. We're not blocked on social media anymore, but we're not friends either. We don't talk. Don't text. Don't see each other at family events because she usually doesn't come. Last I heard, she's working at a different company. Social media manager for a small startup. Drives a used Honda Civic. Still with Marcus apparently. Her Instagram is still private, but mutual friends say she doesn't post much anymore. No more manifestation talk. No more luxury lifestyle content. Just normal life. Which maybe is what she needed all along. Their whole experience taught me things I wish I didn't have to learn. That family doesn't mean unconditional trust. That love doesn't mean enabling bad behavior. That sometimes the kindest thing you can do is let someone face consequences. Kelsey thought she could manifest her way into a luxury car through fraud and positive thinking. What she actually manifested was a criminal record, destroyed relationships, and a very expensive lesson about how reality works. People still ask me if I regret pressing charges. If I wish I'd handled it differently. The answer is no. Not even a little. Because if I hadn't reported it, I'd still be legally responsible for that loan. Kelsey would have missed payments eventually. My credit would be ruined. And she'd have learned that stealing from family has no consequences. That you can betray the people who love you and get away with it through crying and manipulation. Instead, she learned that actions have consequences. That fraud is fraud regardless of who commits it. That manifesting isn't about positive thinking, it's about taking real action toward real goals through legitimate means. She wanted abundance but tried to shortcut her way there through crime. The universe didn't provide a Tesla. The universe provided a criminal record and a very public lesson in humility. I'm doing fine now. Credit recovered. Financial security restored. Family relationships complicated but honest. And I learned to protect my information like my life depends on it. Because apparently it does. Even from family. Especially from family who believe manifestation means you can wish consequences away. Kelsey manifested her dream car for exactly 8 days before reality caught up. Sometimes the universe provides exactly what you need instead of what you want. What she needed was accountability. What she got was a repossession, criminal charges, and a brother who refused to be her victim. And maybe eventually she'll manifest some actual wisdom from all this. But that's her journey now. Not mine.